A pleasant day, CBP students. I am Alyssa Fatmah Mastura from the Mathematics Department of SNSM and one of the lecturers of 2020 College Bond Program Mathematics subject. Let us proceed with the next chapters which talk about algebraic expressions and polynomials. We will discuss first an algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is a mathematical expression that involves constants and or variables with all or some of the operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, raising to a power, and extraction of roots. Before we give an example of an algebraic expression, we will define first what is variable and constant para maliwanag sa ating lahat kung ano ang constant and variable. When we say a variable, that is any symbol, usually a letter of the English alphabet that can be assigned values. For example, the formula A is equal to LW, in which A, L, and W represent the area, length, and width of a rectangle respectively. As you can notice here, the area depends on its length and width. And of course, yung value ng length and width ng isang rectangle is nakadepende din kung gaano kalaki yung rectangle. Baka yung ginamin dito na rectangle ay isang basketball court, so sobrang laki, right? Or ginamin dito na rectangle ay isang makeup kit, so sobrang liit naman. So yung value ng length and width ng isang rectangle is nakadepende kung gaano kalaki ang rectangle. Meaning, hindi fix yung value ng length and width dito. Since hindi fix yung value ng area, length, and width ng isang rectangle, nag-let sila ng symbol for this one, that is A for area, L for length, and W for width. Take note, ang A, L, and W are just a symbol. Dito lang talaga ang nilagay na symbol is yung first letter ng word para klaro siya sa magbabasa. Since isa lang siyang symbol, so meaning pwede natin palitan like gawin natin is X for area, star for length, and theta for width. Dahil nga sa mga symbol lang sila that can be assigned values. So, ang ibig kong sabihin dito is that ang variable is hindi lang siya limit sa English alphabet. Pwede yung beta, yung mu, yung alpha, at kung ano pa. Pero mas maiging gamitin is the English alphabet dahil nga sa simple siyang tingnan, madaling isulat at very familiar sa lahat. Hence, when we say a variable, from its word meaning nagva-vary, so that is, paiba-iba yung value. Kaya nagle-let tayo ng symbol to emphasize na hindi fix yung value niya. For the constant naman, a constant is any symbol that represents a fixed value. So parang kasalungat ito ng variable. Dapat fix yung value niya. Say for example, meron akong tatlong shoes. So, yung 3 there is an example of constant. 1/2, which is equal to 0.5, is an example of constant. I, which is equal to 3.141592, and so on, is an example of constant. Anything na may fixed value. So, balik tayo sa algebraic expression. When we say algebraic expression is any combinations of constants and variables with all or some of the operations. For example, 2x squared y to the power of negative 3. So, in this example, yung constant natin is 2. Yung variable natin is x and y. at meron itong operation which is the exponentation. Makikita natin na may exponent yung x na 2 at yung y na negative 3. Number 2, 3x squared plus 2x minus 9 over 2. So, makikita natin dyan na may constant na 3, 2, negative 9, and 2 sa baba. At makikita natin na may variable na x at may operations na addition, subtractions, division, and exponentation. So, ito yung example ng algebraic expression. An algebraic sum is an algebraic expression that consists of distinct parts joined by plus or minus sign. Each part in the algebraic sum, together with the sign preceding it, is called a term. Example of sum with one term: 2, 2x, square root of 2x, 3xy to the power of negative 2, cube root of 3x plus 2. So, one term lang to kasi nasa loob sila ng radical sign. 3 over x plus y minus z. So, lahat na ito is an example of an algebraic sum with one term. So, for an algebraic sum with two terms is x over y plus z. So, ang first term is x over y, plus ang second term is z. Square root of 2x minus 2. So, dalawang terms. X minus 1. 3x y to the power of negative 2 minus 5. Square root of 3x plus 2 minus 1 minus 5xy z to the power of negative 3. So, ang first term dito is yung square root of 3x plus 2 minus 1. Ang second term is negative 5xyz to the power of negative 3. So, ito yung example ng sum with two terms. An example of algebraic sum with three terms: x plus y minus 1. X is the first term, y is the second term, negative 1 is the third term. Square root of x plus y minus 1, yan yung first term, minus 1 over x, that is the second term, plus the cube root of 2, that is the third term. 3x to the power of 1 half, first term, plus x over z, that is the second term, minus 1, that is the third term. So, ito yung example ng sum with three terms. For the second part, we will discuss polynomial. Poly comes from Greek word means many, while nomial comes from Latin word means names. You could view polynomial as many names, but in mathematical context is really referring to many terms. In here, we defined polynomial as an algebraic sum that involves only non-negative integers exponents of one or more variables. That is, it has no variable in the denominator. Ibig sabihin, ang polynomial ay isang algebraic sum na kung saan yung variables in that expression ay exponent niya is non-negative integers. Recall nyo yung non-negative integers na yung 0 plus the counting number. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now, we will give an example of a polynomial. Example number 1 is 7x to the power of 5 plus 5x squared minus 11x to the power of 4 plus 5. So this is an example of sum with 4 terms. The first term is 7x to the power of 5. The second term is 5x squared. The third term is negative 11x to the power of 4. And the fourth term is 5. So we have 4 terms. Sabi nga kanina na ang polynomial means many terms. As you can observe here in this example, na yung exponent ng variable ng each term is non-negative integers. So that is, ang exponent ng first term is 5, ang second is 2, ang third is 4, and 0 sa fourth. So baka nagtaka kayo saan dito ang 0 sa fourth term. Take note, 5 can be equal to 5x to the power of 0 since x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So any variable na may exponent na 0 is automatically equal to 1. So since lahat ng exponent ng each term is non-negative, meaning this is a polynomial. Another example is 13ab squared minus 2a. Mayroon tayong dalawang variables that is a and b sa first term. And we can see it na ang exponent ng a is 1, ang b is 2. For the second term, mayroon tayong variable na a na kung saan ang exponent naman niya is equal to 1. Kaya, polynomial din itong pangalawang example. The third one is negative x y squared z plus 10y plus 3z. So mapapansin natin na ang mga exponent ng mga variables in each term is non-negative integer. So this is a polynomial. So kailan natin masasabi na yung expression ay hindi polynomial? Say for example, sa first expression na ito, instead na 5 yung exponent, let us say negative 5 yung exponent. So here, hindi ito polynomial kasi hindi na negative integers ang negative 5. Recall ha, ang non-negative integer is starting 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So hindi kasali ang negative numbers. Please take note, these expressions can be equal to this one. Why? Ang nangyari dito, ibinaba natin ang x. Kasi, x to the power of negative 5 can be equal to 1 over x to the power of 5. So, kung may exponent kayo na negative, ibaba nyo lang ang variable na yun at tanggalin ng negative. So, meaning, pag polynomial, walang variable sa denominator. So, kung may nakita kayo na expression na may negative exponent or yung variables ay nasa denominators, meaning hindi siya polynomial. Another example is itong number 2. Instead na 2 yung exponent, let us say 1/2 yung nakalagay. 1/2 is not a non-negative integers. So, these expressions can be equal to this one. So, meaning, pag mayroon kang nakitang expression na may radical sign, meaning hindi siya polynomials. Another example is this one. Instead na 2, ang exponent na lang niya is a. So, ang a is a variable. So, hindi siya non-negative integers. Polynomials do have names according to their number of terms. A polynomial with one term is what we called monomial. A polynomial with two terms is called binomial. And a polynomial with three terms is called trinomial. And for a polynomial with more than 3 terms is named simply by its number of terms. For instance, a polynomial with 5 terms is called a 5-term polynomial. Example of monomial. 2. 2x square root of 2x. 3x y to the power of negative 2. The cube root of 3x plus 2. 3 over x plus y minus z. So, ito yung mga example ng monomial. So, example for binomial. X minus 1, x squared plus y squared. Negative x squared y cubed plus z. So, tagdadalawa ang terms sila kaya binomial ang tawag sa kanila. Example of a trinomial. X plus y plus z. Ang first term is x, second term is y, third term is z. X squared plus x minus 1. So, meron tayong tatlong terms kaya trinomial siya. X minus xy minus y squared. So, meron ding tatlong terms kaya trinomial siya. A term of a polynomial may be viewed as a product of two factors. A factor in a term is said to be the coefficient of the remaining factors of this term. The constant factor is called the numerical coefficient, while the remaining variables and their exponents is called collectively as the literal coefficient. For example, consider the monomial negative 3 over 7x squared y to the power of 5z. So, negative 3 over 7 is the numerical coefficient and the remaining variables in their exponents, that is x squared y to the power of 5z, is the literal coefficient. Take note, negative 3 over 7z is the coefficient of x squared y to the power of 5. And pwede rin na negative 3 over 7 y to the power of 5 is the coefficient of x squared z. Terms that differ only passively in their numerical coefficients are called like terms or similar terms. Otherwise, the terms are said to be unlike terms. For example, the terms 3x squared yz cubed and negative 7x squared yz cubed are like terms. Why? Kasi they have a common literal coefficient. So, pareho yung literal coefficient nila. The terms negative 16x squared y cubed and 8x cubed y squared are unlike terms dahil magkaiba sila ng literal coefficient. The degree of a variable in a term is the exponent of the variable, and the degree of a term is the sum of all the exponents of the variables that appear in the term. For example, consider the monomial 5 squared x squared y cubed z to the power of 5. We can see it that the degree of x is 2, the degree of y is 3, the degree of z is 5. So, i-add natin silang lahat. We have 2 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 10. So, dapat hindi kasali ang constant, yung variable only. So, it means that the degree of this monomial is equal to 10. And take note, the constant polynomial negative 3 is of degree 0. So, any constant polynomial, ang degree niya is 0 since negative 3 can be equal to negative 3x to the power of 0. Anything na variables na may exponent na 0 is equal to 1. So, any constant polynomial, ang degree niya is 0. The degree of a polynomial is the degree of the term with highest degree. The degree of a variable in a polynomial is the degree of the term with highest degree of a variable. For example, consider the trinomial 5 squared x to the fourth y cubed z squared minus 2 fifths x squared y cubed z cubed plus 3x cubed y squared z to the power of 5. So, ang gawin muna natin, kunin natin yung degree ng each term. So, sa first term, ang degree niya is 9. Bakit? I-add natin yung exponent ng mga variables. That is 4 plus 3 plus 2 is equal to 9. So, second term is, ang degree niya is 8. That is 2 plus 3 plus 3 is equal to 8. The third term, ang degree niya is 10. That is 3 plus 2 plus 5. Now, ano yung may pinakamalaking degree sa tatlong terms? That is the third term, which is 10. So, meaning, ang degree ng trinomial na ito is of degree 10. A polynomial is said to be linear if its degree is 1, quadratic if its degree is 2, and a cubic polynomial if its degree is 3. Example of linear polynomial: x plus 1, x plus y plus 1, x plus y plus z. Lahat na yan, ang degree niya is 1, kaya linear polynomial siya. Example of quadratic polynomial: x squared plus 1, x squared plus 3x minus 1, xy plus 3x plus 2y, 3x squared plus 3xy minus 7y squared. So, lahat naman, ang degree ng mga equations na yan is 2. Kaya, quadratic polynomial. For a cubic polynomial, x cubed minus 1, 5xyz minus x plus y minus z, 3x cubed plus 5x squared y minus 7x y squared plus y3. So, lahat naman ng equations na ito, ang degree niya is 3, kaya cubic polynomial. The terms polynomial may be written in any order. However, polynomials containing a single variable cx may be written in standard form. So this expression is the standard form, where n is a non-negative integer and a sub n minus 1, a sub 2, a sub 1, and a sub 0 are real numbers called coefficients. The term a sub n x to the power of n is called the leading term, and a sub n is the leading coefficient. The term a sub 0 is called the constant term. If a sub n is not equal to 0, the degree of the polynomial is n. The degree of the constant polynomial is 0. Example, consider the polynomial 4x squared minus 4 plus 5x cubed minus 2x. So, ito hindi naka-standard form. So, ang standard form niya is this one. 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x minus 4. So, naka-arrange yung degree niya from greatest to least. Here, the leading term is 5x cubed and the leading coefficient is 5. More example of polynomial. The binomial x minus 1 is linear with leading coefficient 1. So itong x minus 1 is binomial because it has two terms. Yung first term is x and the second term is negative 1. Linear siya dahil ang degree ng binomial na ito is of degree 1. So, naka-standard form naman ito. So, meaning, ito yung leading term niya. At 1 yung leading coefficient. Number 2. The binomial negative 3x squared minus 1 is quadratic with leading coefficient negative 3. Binomial siya dahil dalawa ang terms. Quadratic dahil ang degree niya is 2. Since ang leading term is negative 3x squared, meaning ang leading coefficient is negative 3. Number 3. The trinomial 3x minus 5 plus 5x squared is quadratic with leading coefficient 5. Mapapansin dito, hindi naka-standard form. So, ang standard form niya is 5x squared plus 3x minus 5. Since it has 3 terms, kaya trinomial. The degree of 5x squared plus 3x minus 5 is 2, kaya quadratic. And the leading term is 5x squared, kaya 5 ang leading coefficient. Number 4, the binomial 1 minus x cubed is cubic with leading coefficient negative 1. Dalawa ang terms kaya binomial. Ang degree niya is 3 kaya cubic. Ang standard form niya is negative x cubed plus 1. Kaya ang leading term is negative x cubed and ang leading coefficient is negative 1. Number 5, the trinomial negative 3x plus 2x to the power of 4 plus 1 is a polynomial of degree 4 with leading coefficient 2. We have 3 terms here kaya trinomial. Ang standard form niya is 2x to the power of 4 minus 3x plus 1. So, ang leading term is 2x to the power of 4, kaya ang leading coefficient is 2. Next will be about exponents. For any real number a and a positive integer n, the nth power of a denoted by a to the power of n is defined as this one, where a is the base and n is the exponent. For any real number a is not equal to 0 and a positive integers n, a to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So, kahit anong real number na nakalagay kay a, pag exponent niya is 0, it is equal to 1. Kahit ang a is million, pag exponent niya is 0, 1 ang equal pa rin. Number 2 is a to the power of negative n is equal to 1 over a to the power of n. So, any real number, a, pag may exponent na negative, gawin yung fraction, ilagay yung a na yon sa baba at tanggalin ang negative. Later on, magbibigay tayo ng example para mas klaro sa inyo. Remark 2.2.3. Number 1, this expression means that a is multiplied to itself n times. Number 2, this expression can be read as a to the nth power. The term a to the power of 2 is read as a squared, while the a to the power of 3 is read as a cubed. An exponent of 1 is usually not written, that is, a to the power of 1 is equal to a. Number 3, if a is negative, then a to the power of n is positive when n is even, and a to the power of n is negative when n is odd. 0 to the power of 0 is indeterminate, that is, it has no known value. Magbibigay tayo ng example para may apply natin ang definition 2.2.2 and remark 2.2.3. Example number 1 is 2 to the power of 5. Based on remark 2.2.3, number 1, i-multiply natin ng 5 beses ang 2. Ang n natin dito is 5 at ang a natin is 2. This will be equal to 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32. So we have 32. Number 2 is 3 to the power of 4. I-multiply natin ang 3 ng 4 na beses. That is, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 times 3 is 81. Number 3 is quantity of negative 5 squared. Take note, may quantity dyan, yang bracket. Meaning, i-multiply natin ng 2 beses ang negative 5 kasali yung negative niya kasi may bracket. So, negative 5 times negative 5 which is equal to 25. Based on remark 2.2.3 number 3 na pag yung a mo is negative at yung exponent niya is even number, dapat positive ang result. So, dito, ang a natin is negative 5 at ang exponent natin is 2. An even number. Kaya positive ang result which is 25. Number 4 is quantity of negative 4 cubed. In here, negative pa rin ang a, negative 4. But ang exponent niya is 3 which is odd number. So negative dapat ang result. That is, i-multiply natin ang negative 4 ng 3 beses. Negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 is equal to negative 64. Number 5 is negative 2 to the power of 4. In here, ang may exponent lang is yung 2. Meaning, ang i-multiply natin ng 4 na beses ang 2 only. Mapapansin natin na may negative dyan. So, yung negative niya is sa unahan lang. Then, we will have negative 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Ang sagot ng 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Since may negative sa unahan, kaya negative 16 ang result. Number 6 is negative 1/2 quantity to the power of 5. As you can see, negative sa loob at odd number ang exponent. So, dapat negative ang result. Hence, i-multiply natin ng 5 beses ang negative 1/2. So, this will be equal to negative 1/32. Number 7 is negative 9.3 quantity to the power of 0 is equal to 1. From definition 2.2.2 number 1, pag yung a ay may exponent na 0 will be equal to 1. Maliban na lang yung a is equal to 0 dahil magiging indeterminate. So, negative 9.3 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Number 8, 3 to the power of negative 2. From definition 2.2.2 number 2, pag yung a is not equal to 0 at ang exponent niya is negative, ilagay natin sa denominator ang a at tanggalin ang negative exponent. Katulad nito, ang a natin is 3 at ang exponent natin is negative 2. So, magiging 1 over 3 squared. So, binaba natin ang 3 squared at wala na ang negative exponent. 3 squared is equal to 9, kaya ang sagot is 1 over 9. Number 9 is negative 5 quantity to the power of negative 3. So, ibaba natin itong negative 5 at tanggalin ang negative exponent. This will be equal to 1 over negative 5 quantity cube. Since negative ang 5 at odd number yung exponent niya, kaya yung negative 5 quantities cube is equal to negative 125. Then, we will have 1 over negative 125. Number 10 is 1 over 4 quantity to the power of negative 2. So, ibaba natin, that will be equal to 1 over 4 quantity to the power of 2. Then, 1/4 times 1/4 is equal to 1 over 16. So, ang result is 1 over 16. Using division of fractions, we will have 1 times 16 over 1. So, 16 times 1 is equal to 16. Theorem 2.2.5 Laws of Exponents. For any real numbers a and b and any integers m and n, assuming 0 is not raised to a non-positive power. Number 1, a to the power of n times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. This is what we called product rule. So, pag pareho ang base, tas multiplications, copy the base and add the exponent. For the second one, a to the power of m divide a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m minus n, such that a is not equal to 0. So, this is what we called quotient rule. Pag pareho ang base, tas division, copy the base, then minus the exponent. For the third one is a to the power of m quantity to the power of n, which is equal to a to the power of m n. So this is a power rule. Ang power rule is i-multiply mo lang yung dalawang exponents. The fourth one is ab quantity to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of n. This is raising a product to a power. So here, i-distribute yung exponent sa a and b. The fifth one is a over b quantity to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n over b to the power of n, such that b is not equal to 0. This is what we called raising a quotient to a power. So, i-distribute ang exponent sa bawat isa. Remark 2.2.6. For any non-zero real number a and b and any integers m and n, a to the power of negative n over b to the power of negative m is equal to b to the power of m over a to the power of n. Ang nangyari dito is that from definition 2.2.2 na ang a to the power of negative n is equal to 1 over a to the power of n, and b to the power of negative m is equal to 1 over b to the power of n. And using divisions of fractions, we will have 1 over a to the power of n times b to the power of m over 1. So, this will be equal to b to the power of m over a to the power of n. If the sign of the exponent is changed, a factor can be moved to the other side of the fraction bar. A over b quantity to the power of negative n is equal to b over a quantity to the power of n. Paano ba sila naging equal? That is, a over b quantity to the power of negative n is equal to 1 over a over b quantity to the power of n. I-distribute ang exponent that will be equal to 1 over a to the power of n over b to the power of n. Then, using division of fractions, this will be equal to 1 times b to the power of n over a to the power of n. And this is equal to b over a quantity to the power of n. So, nilabas natin yung n. Illustration 2.2.7. Consider the following illustrations of Theorem 2.2.5, Laws of Exponents, and Remark 2.2.6. Assume that none of the denominators is 0. Number 1 is 2 cubed times 2 squared. As you can see, na pareho yung base nila, which is 2. So, pag pareho ang base at multiplication, copy the base and add the exponents. So, this will be equal to 2 to the power of 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5, kaya this is equal to 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5 is equal to 32. Number 2 is x to the power of 7 times x to the power of negative 5. Same base pa rin, yan ay x. So, copy the base and add the exponents. So, this will be equal to x to the power of 7 plus quantity negative 5. So, this is equal to x to the power of 7 minus 5. And this is equal to x squared. Number 3 is 3 to the power of 5 divide 3 to the power of 3. Same base, yan ay 3. Since division, so copy the base and minus the exponent. So this will be equal to 3 to the power of 5 minus 3. And this is equal to 3 squared. 3 squared is equal to 9. Number 4 is 2 to the power of 4 divide 2 to the power of 7. So, ganun pa rin, copy the base and minus the exponent. So, this will be equal to 2 to the power of 4 minus 7. So, this is equal to 2 to the power of negative 3. So, now, since may negative, ibaba natin yung 2 cube. So, that will be equal to 1 over 2 cube. So, since 2 cube is equal to 8, ang final sagot is 1 over 8. Number 5 is x plus y quantity to the power of 7 divide x plus y quantity to the power of 7. Same base, ang base niya is x plus y. So, gamit ang quotient rule, i-minus natin ang exponent. So, that will be equal to x plus y quantity to the power of 7 minus 7. And this is equal to x plus y to the power of 0. And this is equal to 1. Number 6 is 4 cubed quantity to the power of 2. Using power rule, i-multiply ang dalawang exponents. That will be equal to 4 to the power of 3 times 2. And this is equal to 4 to the power of 6. And 4 to the power of 6 is equal to 4096. Number 7 is 3 times 4 quantity to the power of 2. Using raising a product to a power, i-distribute lang ang exponent na 2 sa 3 and 4. So that will be equal to 3 squared times 4 squared. 3 squared is equals to 9, 4 squared is equal to 16. Kaya 9 times 16 is equal to 144. Number 8 is negative 2x quantity to the power of 5. Same pa rin, i-distribute ang exponent na 5. That will be equal to negative 2 quantity to the power of 5 x to the power of 5. And negative 2 quantity to the power of 5 is equal to negative 32. And this will be equal to negative 32x to the power of 5. Number 9 is 2 over 3 quantity to the power of 4. So, using raising a quotient to a power, we will have 2 to the power of 4 over 3 to the power of 4. And 2, 4 is equal to 16 and 3 to the power of 4 is equal to 81. So, we have 16 over 81. Number 10 is 4 over 3 quantity to the power of negative 2. Gamit ang remark 2.2.6 number 2, baliktarin natin ang fraction sa loob at tanggalin ang negative exponent. That is 3 over 4 quantity squared. Then, i-distribute ang exponent sa bawat isa. We have 3 squared over 4 squared. 3 squared is equal to 9, 4 squared is equal to 16. And this will be equal to 9 over 16. Number 11 is 2 to the power of negative 3 over 3 to the power of negative 3. Gamit ang remark 2.2.6 number 1, baliktarin natin ang fraction at tanggalin ang negative exponents. So, we have 3 cube over 2 cube. 3 cube is equal to 27. 2 cube is equal to 8. So, we have 27 over 8. For the last part of these lectures, magbibigay tayo ng mas complicated na example. Then, simplify using definition of exponents, remarks of exponents, and laws of exponents. Simplify each of the following so that the expressions only have positive exponents. Assume that none of the denominators is 0. Number 1. Negative 16x squared y to the power of 15 z to the power of 8 times 2 x to the power of negative 3 y to the power of 5 z squared quantity to the power of negative 3. Solution. This expression is equal to this one. So mapapansin nyo yung 16 is naging 2 to the power of 4. So, since 2 to the power of 4 is just equal to 16. At mapapansin nyo, iba na yung exponent sa second bracket. Dahil multiply natin ang negative 3 sa loob. So, gi-applyan natin ng power rule. So, that is negative 3 times 1 will be negative 3. So, yung exponent ng 2 is negative 3. Sa x naman is negative 3 times negative 3 is equal to positive 9. Kaya 9 yung exponent ng x. Sa y naman is 5 times negative 3 is equal to negative 15. Kaya negative 15 ang exponent ng y. Sa z naman is 2 times negative 3 is equal to negative 6. Kaya, negative 6 ang exponent ng z. Now, yung magkakapareho ng base, i-add lang natin yung exponent niya. So, gagamitan natin ng product rule. At makikita natin na may 2 sa first bracket at sa second bracket. Ganon din sa x, y, and z. So, this will be equal to this one. So, that is negative 2 to the power of 4 plus quantity negative 3. x to the power of 2 plus 9, y to the power of 15 plus quantity negative 15, z to the power of 8 plus quantity negative 6. So this will be equal to this one. So that is negative 2 to the power of 1 kasi 4 minus 3 is 1. X to the power of 11 kasi 2 plus 9 is 11. Y to the power of 0 kasi 15 minus 15 is 0. Z squared kasi 8 minus 6 is 2. Take note, y to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So this will be equal to this 1. That is negative 2x to the power of 11 z squared. So ito yung final answer. Number 2 is 3 to the power of negative 2 x to the power of negative 3 y to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of negative 3 z to the power of negative 5. Solution. So recall nyo yung remark 2.2.6. So, pag mayroon kayong negative sa taas, ilagay nyo lang sa baba. At pag mayroon kayong negative exponent sa baba, ilagay nyo rin sa taas. So, mayroong negative dito, ilalagay natin sa baba. At mayroong negative dito at ilalagay natin sa taas. So, this will be equal to this one. So, itong nasa baba is nailagay natin sa numerator at tinanggal na natin yung negative sign. At itong nasa taas, nilagay natin sa denominator at tinanggal natin yung negative sign. So now, this will be equal to this one. Kasi nga, 2 cubed is equal to 8, 3 squared is equal to 9. So ito na yung final sagot niya. Number 3 is 3 to the power of negative 2a squared b to the power of negative 5 c to the power of 6 quantity to the power of negative 3 over 6a b cubed c to the power of negative 3 quantity 4. Solution. This equation is equal to this one. So ang ginawa dito, yung negative 3 i-multiply natin sa loob. So, ginamitan natin ng power rule. So, kaya, yung exponent ng 3 is naging 6. Yung exponent ng a is naging negative 6 kasi 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Yung b naman, negative 5 times negative 3 is equal to positive 15. Kaya, ang exponent ng b is 15. Yung c naman is 6 times negative 3 is equal to negative 18. Kaya yung exponent ng c is negative 18. Take note, i-factor natin ang 6. That is 2 times 3. So ngayon, this will be equal to this one. So sa second equations is yung exponent na 4 sa baba, i-distribute din natin sa loob. Kaya yung 2, mayroon na siyang exponent na 4 at saka yung 3. Pati na rin yung a. Sa b naman is 3 times 4 is equal to 12, kaya 12 na lang yung exponent niya. Sa c naman is negative 3 times 4 is equal to negative 12, kaya negative 12 yung exponent ng c. Now, itong negative sa taas, ibaba natin at itong negative sa baba is itaas natin. So, ito yung magiging result niya. So, makikita natin nasa baba ng E3 at nasa baba na rin ang c to the power of 18 at nasa taas na rin ang c to the power of 12. Ngayon, yung pareho ng base, pag multiplications, i-add, pag division is i-minus. Ngayon, makikita natin na may 3 sa taas at sa kababa. So, meaning, ima-minus natin yung exponent nila. So, that will be equal to 3 to the power of 6 minus 4. At makikita natin yung b at meron din sa taas at sa baba. Kaya, i-minus natin din yung exponent nila. So that is b to the power of 15 minus 12. And yung a naman is lahat na sa baba. So, i-add natin yung exponent kasi multiplication. So, that will be a to the power of 4 plus 3. Yung c naman is meron sa taas at saka sa baba, bali division. So, ang c natin will be c to the power of 18 divide 12. So, kung saan malaki ang number, doon yung ilalagay yung number. Katulad nito ng c, mas malaki ang 18 kaysa sa 12. Kaya yung pag-minus ng exponent nasa baba. Okay? Now, this one is equal to this one. And 3 squared is equal to 9. 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 16. So, the final answer is this one. 9b cubed over 16a to the power of 7, c to the power of 6. Number 4 is this one. 3x to the power of negative 3, y to the power of 4, z to the power of 5 over 6x squared y cubed z to the power of negative 2 quantity to the power of negative 2. Solution. So this one is equal to this one. So recall nyo yung remark 2.2.6. Pag yung n nyo is negative, ang gagawin nyo na lang is baliktarin nyo yung fraction at tanggalin yung negative sign. So, katulad nito ng number 4, may negative tayo na exponent. Yan ay negative 2. So, babaliktarin natin yung fraction. Kaya, ito yung result niya. So, mapapansin nyo, gi-factor ang 6. And, yung mga negative dyan, sa taas, ibaba natin. Yung sa baba, itaas natin. So, this will be equal to this one. So, pag pareho ang base, pag multiplication, add the exponent, pag divisions, minus the exponents. So, take note, pwede natin i-cancel ang 3. So, ngayon, this will be equal to this one. So, yung x, gagamitan natin ng product rule. So, copy the base, add the exponent. Kaya, yung x natin dito is x to the power of 2 plus 3. Yung y naman is meron sa taas at saka sa baba, bali division. So, that will be y to the power of 4 minus 3. Yung z is lahat na sa baba, so multiplication. So, that will be z to the power of 5 plus 2. So, this equation is equal to this one. So, that is 2x to the power of 5 over y z to the power of 7 quantity squared. So, now, i-distribute natin ang 2 sa loob. This will be equal to this one. 2 squared x to the power of 10 over y squared z to the power of 14. So, the final answer is 4x to the power of 10 over y squared z to the power of 14. Number 5 is 2 plus 2 to the power of negative 2 quantity to the power of negative 2. Solution. This expression is equal to this one. So, itong 2 to the power of negative 2 is equal to 1 over 2 squared. And, itong 2 squared is equal to 4. Kaya ito ang naging equal niya. And kunin natin ang LCD niya, this will be equal to this one. So this will be 9 over 4 quantity to the power of negative 2. So ngayon, negative ito. So, baliktarin natin ang fractions sa loob. That will be equal to 4 over 9 quantity squared. So, wala ng negative sign. 4 squared is equal to 16. 9 squared is equal to 81. So, the final answer is 16 over 81. Number 6 is 2 squared plus 3 to the power of negative 2 over 3 to the power of negative 1 quantity to the power of negative 2. Solution. This equation is equal to this one. Kasi itong 3 to the power of negative 1 is itinaas natin kasi negative. Kaya nandito na siya sa taas. Now, this equation is equal to this one. Kasi itong 3 to the power of negative 2 is equal to 1 over 3 squared. And 3 squared is equal to 9. Kaya this will be equal to this one. Now, kunin natin yung LCD nila. That will be equal to 36 plus 1 over 9. So, ngayon, ma-factor natin ang 9. So, cancel natin ang 3. So, this will be equal to this 1. So, mayroon tayong negative 2. So, baliktarin naman natin yung fractions. That will be 3 over 37 quantity squared. So, the final answer is 9 over 1,369. That's all for today. Again, I am Alyssa Fatmah Mastura from the Mathematics Department. Thank you for listening.